Sounds like we're on. Happy Easter to everyone out there listening. Thank you. This is about that time where if you haven't already had a nap, wait a little bit longer before you turn it in for the night. So for those of you that are listening to us later on throughout the week, happy belated Easter if you celebrate that type of thing. Anyway, the Greg got to have a nap today.
I get to have a nap. It was
pretty glorious. That's rare air with you, right?
Actually, it's getting to be a little bit more common since my kids are older and less demanding.
Okay.
They will oftentimes get home from school and just crash. And I get done with work. I'm getting pretty. My kids are making fun of me now because I take the dad nap.
Those are like earned.
Like the after dinner,
yes,
just like
ate too much carbs. Boom.
Yeah, pass out in a chair and
yep.
Yeah, they're making fun of me for that now.
Yeah, I do that. I hit that around 4:30.
Do you have like a midday crash?
You mean do I feel a midday crash?
Yeah.
Not yet. No. I'm pretty good up until around 4:30. Then I crash.
Ever since I was teaching, and even student teaching. So I was a young man at this point at 2:00. 2:00 in the afternoon, I would get so drained.
That's very common, actually. 2 to 4 is the
I'd just be drained, and 2:00, you're still in school, you're still working, you're still
got to do some
stuff. And I remember working with when I was student teaching, working with a small group of kids, and I'm trying to read some kind of worksheet, and I felt my eyes shut, and I said something. And it was so off. And I don't even remember what it was, but I heard one kid go, "What?" And I go, and I look at her, I'm like, "Oh shit."
I'm sure that jolted you away.
Yep. And then all of a sudden my adrenaline spiked and I'm like, "Oh my God, I screwed up. I totally screwed up." But the kids are like, "Dude, you okay?" And I'm like, "I am tired." They're like, "Do you drink coffee?" I'm like, "No, but I think I should start."
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. That was an eye opener.
Yeah. So your nap, you got a 2-hour nap.
I did. I took a 2-hour nap, which specialists would say that is too long.
Right.
To take a nap.
You feel like shit when you wake up.
We do. And before I jump into this, I want to say, if you want to learn about the science of naps, you can go to audible.com, which is a partner for us on the show. And you can just look up all the sleep science, factual information that you can, and you can listen to it on your drive, during your workout, whenever you want. And you can get that for 30 days free on us. If you go to audibletrial.com/JATG, look up the entire science of sleep, learn all about it. Again, 30 days free on us. Whatever you buy, you keep. And that's at audibletrial.com/JATG. So back to my nap.
Yeah.
I remember, it was like 2 hours today. I passed out on my couch. A rarity in the Struley house. We didn't even turn the TV on. We got back from Easter brunch and
you had Easter brunch.
I had Easter brunch.
That'll do it to you.
It wasn't like a big pile of. Well, it was more a big pile.
Waffles and hash browns and syrup.
Nope, none of that. I didn't do. Well, I did Breakfast food. I'm not gonna lie. I did 2 eggs over easy, some a little bit of hash browns, bacon, some sausage, and it was called the All American Skillet, and I got it because it had bacon and sausage, and I didn't even eat the whole thing because I don't do that a lot anymore. But yeah, I got back home and I'm like, I'm tired. Yeah. And the kids were tired. Everybody, my wife and I stayed up late and watched a movie. We went to early service today because, brunch reservations for Easter are usually pretty packed up.
Yeah.
And luckily my daughter's friend is a waitress at this place we went. And she was texting her last night and she's like, "We can get in at 10, which is not super early for brunch, but that means we had to go to early service for church." So, and I knew that even when I stayed up too late last night watching a movie. But then we got up, went to early service for church, had a great service, went to brunch, came home. Kids were like, "I'm tired. I'm going to go back to my room and lay down for a little bit." We're like, "Sure." And I was like, "Well, you know what? I'm going to check out some stuff on my phone, sent you a few things, read some messages, and then passed out."
Yep. Yeah. you and I were talking about it, and then we stopped talking about it because we thought, well, this is good podcast stuff.
Yeah.
We
Do you know how long a nap is supposed to be?
20 minutes, right?
Like 20 to 30 minutes,
I
according to
feel
scientists.
great after
Yeah.
a 20-minute nap. I
A
feel
good-
fantastic, actually.
And I mean, people consider that like a power nap. I'm gonna catch a
Yeah.
quick 20-minute power nap,
Yeah.
and then you wake up and you're like, you're feeling pretty good.
Yeah.
2 hours
Yes.
is a sleep cycle.
You wake up, you actually feel sick a little bit.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, what's going on?
Yeah,
Like,
and-
yeah.
It is painful. I mean, I was on my couch, and it's not like my couch is super uncomfortable or anything, and it's actually pretty comfortable. And one, I fit on it, which is a big deal when you're a big guy
Yeah.
to get a couch that you can lay down on.
Mm-hmm.
So then I like sit up, and my contacts were still in, so now I'm like my contacts are all sticking to my
Glued to your eyelids.
Yeah. I'm so dry. I'm like, I need something to drink. I mean,
Yeah.
water bottle's empty. I'm like cramped up. Like I got this weird pain in my hip.
And you get up and you don't feel, it doesn't feel like everything's
like
there yet.
Shit.
Yeah.
I'm like,
it's really weird. It's really weird when it's like that.
And like this this doesn't happen to young people. They don't like take a nap and then think they've all of a sudden hurt themselves or pulled a muscle.
Oh, you're right. I've never felt like that. I feel like that now. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. First, hey, what's up, Marshall? Good to see you. So I remember it. It took me to a flashback. I'm having this conversation at Easter dinner with my sister-in-law, and she did the same thing today. She took a nap. She's like, "Oh, it's gonna be glorious." She takes a nap, and then she wakes up, and she's like, "Oh,
yeah."
Now we gotta go to our in-laws and like, because not that that's terrible, but you just feel like crap because
you don't feel good.
Now I gotta get up. I feel like I gotta like do a 20-minute stretch just to feel normal again.
Yeah.
And so, but I remember I was in high school. It was my senior year. I was in advanced psychology with Mr. Mueller, and we're studying sleep, right? We're going into the psychology of sleep.
That's
What's
cool.
it mean? Yeah, it was cool. Like, why is it useful? What do dreams? Why do we dream? Why is that important?
You forgot all about it, huh?
Well, I remember,
you don't sleep.
Yeah. I remember like like we're sitting there and we're discussing naps. He's like, who takes naps? And everybody's like raising their hand. Well, yeah, I'll take a nap, blah, blah, blah. He's like, yep, a good quick 15, 20 minutes and you're up and at 'em. And I go, what now?
Yeah.
And they're like, wait, they're like, Struly, how much do you nap? I said, like 2 to 3 hours. They're like, that what? No, that's not napping. That's sleeping. Like you're going back to bed. You're having dreams. You're having a sleep cycle. And I'm like, oh, you guys don't dream. You guys don't dream when you're napped. They're like, you're not supposed to.
Yeah.
And
well,
like,
here's what I've always got confused about. When do you start the clock? Do you start the clock when you close your eyes? Do you start the clock when you actually fall asleep?
I don't know.
When do you start the clock?
No one remembers when they actually fall asleep.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's when is it actually a 20-minute nap? Is it just 20 minutes laying still with your eyes closed? And maybe if you drift off and then come back?
And you usually do. Like,
yeah,
I've set alarms for myself.
Me too.
Being like, okay,
I have to, or else I'll sleep 2 hours.
It's like, I got 30 minutes. I just need to get a quick whatever.
Yeah.
And you close your eyes and then you hear the alarm going off. You're like, that's not right. I've only been down for like 5 minutes.
That was probably a very good sleep then.
And then that's what it's supposed to do. Cause then you wake up, you're not groggy. You're not sore.
Right.
You're awake and you're like, oh, okay. I need to get back to whatever it is I was doing.
I think they should bring back nap time for offices.
Oh yeah, they totally. I mean, like
they
other
should.
countries.
I'm absolutely serious about this. I'm not bullshitting. I think that would actually help productivity.
Oh, it would. They've done studies on this. I mean, it's
does Google do it?
You know what? I don't know, but I think I've heard that at Google, like if you need a break, like if you need a nap, sure, go.
Yeah, they have nap pods, don't they?
Yeah, they do. They've got like,
I want to try one of those.
They've got like sensory deprivation pods that if you just need to go have a quiet space for fine.
Yeah.
Like they're like, you've got a space between your meeting time. Yeah, dude, go do that. Like that's healthy. Like entire cultures do it. In Japan, like I know there's schools, they start at like 10 and they go to 4 and then they have a break and then they'll come back for like another hour or two.
Yeah.
For like work time, not like
Right.
general learning time, of like work time.
Right.
And they've been kicking our butts in academics for the past 50 years.
Yeah.
So, you know, a lot of places it's our American work ethic.
Right. Go, grind,
Yep.
grind.
Grind to do as much as you can.
Yeah.
Don't
You
take
can
breaks.
sleep when you're dead.
Yeah. All
Right.
of that, which,
Yeah.
the, you know, the work harder, work longer will get you ahead. And the other countries are like, no, not really, because we do it different and our people are happier.
And we're
you
good,
know,
happier.
yeah, yep.
We're
Good. do
healthier.
whatever. Yeah, all that stuff. So,
Yeah. I you know what? There are times, especially in the summer, when I'll be driving, you know, because what I do is I'm on the road all day. I have a
Mhm.
set territory, so I'm not driving to like Idaho or anything like that, but I'm on a set territory, so I'm driving. And I'll always see landscaping crews, and they always take naps under trees.
Yeah.
And me, that seems like a glorious thing, but I'm the type of guy where I'm like, well, I don't know if you want to sleep on that tree. There's a lot of crawlies on that tree. I don't know if
Yeah.
you want one of those things crawling in your ear. I'm so nervous about an earwig crawling
Yeah.
in my ear. So
Yeah.
nervous about that. But anyway,
I don't know if earwigs actually crawl in ears, but I understand what you're saying.
yeah, that would just freak me out a little bit. But
But I remember
looks
seeing
glorious.
that and having grandparents or parents or whatever be like, oh, look at that lazy guy. And I'm like, is he though? Because he's like working his tail off. Maybe he just needs that and then he'll be more productive rather than like falling asleep with the clippers in his
Maybe he'll kick ass. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, folks, if you
Yeah.
haven't fallen asleep yet, good for you.
Yeah.
We are going to actually jump ahead here. I have a couple of things. We have, let's see if we can get to 4 topics. I don't know if it's going to happen, but we'll give it a shot. Hey, Greg, have you heard our topic number 1 is about Netflix? Have you heard what Netflix is thinking of doing?
They're always thinking about something.
Yeah. I think they've been thinking about doing this for a long time. But for those of you that are, I don't know, your mom or your dad has the Netflix account and you have the password and you're watching in a different house.
Mhm.
Guys, we knew this was going to happen. Eventually, they were going to figure out or put in some sort of technology. Well, they are closer than ever. They've already estimated that they will save $3.6 billion with this new thing. What they're going to do is, so Greg, let's say you and I share. Let's say Greg, I share your Netflix account
password. Yeah,
I have your password.
He doesn't, by the way.
No,
folks,
I don't.
You're getting into that.
You're giving me the password, love, and. What's going to happen is Netflix is going to send you a nice little reminder saying, hey, we can see that you're watching it in your household, but all the way in Illinois, somebody's watching it too. You can continue this. You just have to pay us $3 more.
Yeah, that would be a $3 upcharge.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on that, just in general?
Would
you pay the $3 to help out mom and dad?
Well, to help out mom and dad, yes, I will. It's a couple. There's a couple pieces to it because the last study I read is that they figured 33% of all Netflix users are sharing passwords.
Yes.
Part of that is, I think, what about my kid that's going to college next year or the year after? I mean, that is one of those like
IP address is different.
Yeah, I mean, are they going to look at her and say, hey, she could be 4 states away? Why is someone 4 states away using your password? And I can say that's my daughter. I mean, are they going to make her get a student plan? Is that or is it just, hey, you know what? That's a $3 upcharge if you're going to be using a family plan like that. And I
think that's probably the safer way they're going to go.
I think it is, and
to me, that's not a big deal. $3, whatever.
$3 is not, but when you look historically, they just raised their prices again to even just
17.
17 with tax. You're paying almost 20, and now you're going to be paying almost 23 or 24. When you start to stack some of your services, then I don't know. I mean,
if it kicks off with Netflix, it will kick off with HBO Max. It'll kick off with Hulu.
It's going to go.
It'll kick off with it'll be everywhere.
So really, it's just a general price raise that's going to happen, and I think everybody that's sharing passwords is just going to go, okay, fine, we'll pay the extra $3.
Yeah,
because In a lot of situations, it is okay. I've got the Netflix and the Disney Plus. You
Yeah,
get the
you got
HBO Max.
Hulu, and yeah, exactly.
You get the Hulu. You
Yeah,
get
it's
the
a
this.
community
You get the
thing.
this. Yeah,
Yeah,
and it's still within family units. Although
right.
I have heard some friend groups that do this as well.
Yeah,
And I think it's just going to be a general. Yeah, that's what we're going to do.
yeah, we're just raising everything.
Now,
Yeah.
I am at the point where I was a cord cutter for many years. Like we didn't have
Yep.
cable. We paid for the internet through our the ISP provider, which is a cable company, because that's the only game in town,
Yep.
or the only reliable game in town. And that's been how we've doing it for years. And we tried to up it. I think it was during COVID. We went to go up it,
Mhm.
and they're like, well, to get this speed, you have to have a cable package, a cable TV package. And I went, no, I don't want to do that. Just give me the
Yeah, just
internet.
give me yeah.
And they're like, we can do that, but it's going to be the same price as if you had the cable package.
So
I'm
you
like,
might
so
as well get the cable package.
I'm like, so you're forcing me to get your TV? Like I'm going to pay for it whether I want it or not. And so it's either pay for it and have it, or pay for it and don't have it. They're like, yeah. I said, you guys fucking suck. And so I ended up getting the TV package, because if I'm paying for something, I want to have it available, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we watch the local news. Occasional we will watch, like in the summer, we'll watch like The Voice or some other reality based, but we can still get that on Hulu now.
Well, don't you? Yeah, I mean, you watch Packer games or sporting events, right?
Yep. Those local stations, local things, which I used to get through a digital antenna. Not great reception, but I lived with it.
Right.
And so now I'm like, all right, let's just go down to their basic local channels, because we stream everything. And honestly, the best things that we watch, we stream.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
yeah, I think it's just going to be, it's just going to be the way it is now in terms of all the prices are going to go up. I think
it's just
Disney
another
went
form
up.
of inflation.
That's all that's going to happen. If I'm looking at this from Netflix's point of view, yeah, you're going to do it. It's just, we are so used to, or I should say, we get entitled because we've been living a certain way for so long. We feel like, I ain't going to do that. No, I've been watching it for free for years. No.
Well, and I've had Netflix for like I had Netflix when they were a DVD delivery service.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Oh, sure. Yeah, we did.
I had Netflix when I heard that they were going to do Daredevil.
Oh, that's when you got on?
That's when I got on. Yeah.
So I was a part of their like streaming. I wasn't a pilot program like officially, but as soon as I got it, I'm like, yeah, I want that. Yeah. But honestly, now, if I'm going to cut something, I think Netflix is the first.
You think so?
Yeah, I think so. I don't watch a ton on it. My daughter watches a lot more than I do.
Well, we're watching,
early 20s programming, but
we're watching things, shows that have been in the ether for a while, and we just started watching it now. Like at night, we watch one show before we go to bed. That's something that me and my wife have started doing. We'll watch one show, no matter how tired we are. We will spend one show with each other, and we've been watching Peaky Blinders. So so right now we're very cool with Netflix. We like it for the kids. You can go to that kids thing, and then Gwen can watch it. So that's good for us. But I hear what you're saying. I mean, if I were to have to drop that, I'd probably get Paramount or Apple.
Paramount's
TV.
great.
Yeah.
Oh man, Apple.
I want to catch up on all this Star Trek. It just looks like each show they bring out for Paramount is fantastic. Not good, not fantastic.
Yeah.
And you can't say that about all of the Star Wars on Disney. You can't say that about. Yeah.
Since we're going out of shows, like I resisted Apple TV for a long time because I'm not an Apple fan.
I know you keep you're on me about get Apple.
But
get Apple.
I mean, one, it's the price point is like $7. I mean, it's not expensive as far as the streaming service goes, which I think is smart, and I think Apple should keep it that way. We just watched Severance, which is kind of a thriller. It's like an office drama.
Isn't Ron Weasley in that?
No, that's not that one. That's a different show that he's on, and I can't remember the name of that one. But that one's on my list too that I haven't watched yet.
Okay.
they've got decent movies. That's where Coda came out of, the Academy Award winning film. Greyhound with Tom Hanks just got optioned for a sequel, which is a really cool World War II.
I heard it was really good. Yeah.
Ship combat movie.
Yeah. Plus a couple of really good like little shows.
Yeah. Foundation is one of the best science fiction shows I've seen in the past 10 years. I mean,
wow.
Fantastic.
Okay.
So that's really good. Paramount's putting out a lot of solid stuff, even beyond.
Yeah, I would get probably that before I go anywhere else.
You have Prime, right? You have Amazon Prime.
Yes.
See, and Amazon's smart. Like we do Prime for like fast shipping, and because my wife is a private business owner, and it's a write-off because she gets lots of work stuff through Prime. Well, comes with a bonus TV package. Great.
Yeah. But actually,
they just came out with this show called Outer Range with Josh Brolin.
Oh, is that good?
Oh man.
Okay, cool. I want to watch that.
Oh, hooked on that one. It was
there's a little bit of supernatural in there, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
But it's
cool.
It's just enough. It's
that like the show Yellow Jackets. It just has enough of sci-fi where you're like, is that that's
the best science fiction out there, is the stuff that's mostly based in reality, and then there's just this one little
thing. You're like, whoa, wait a minute. Yeah. Okay.
So really good. Really good.
Cool. I will definitely check that out. We might check that out tonight.
Two episodes in right now. And that's all that's out there is 2 episodes.
Okay. Sounds good. Yeah. Speaking of streaming services, things like that, have you heard? Obviously, you have heard. Warner Brothers has been bought, or Warner Media has been bought out by Discovery.
Yes,
they are now changing to Warner Brothers Discovery.
I love that you're like, because you've passed your 40 days without social media.
Yes.
And you are like totally catching up.
I'm totally catching up. Yeah.
Even the stuff that you were sending me on Instagram, I'm like, that's like, it's weeks old, buddy.
Yeah.
But anyway, go ahead.
Yeah. So what piqued my interest was that I don't know who's the big head guy of Discovery or who's the big head guy of Warner Brothers.
Right.
But what he's going to do is he's actually going to put the attention to the DC universe that it deserves. What they want to do is, they want to set up their own studio. They want to actually put time and invest talent in there. And they're looking for that Kevin Feige guy to come in there.
Yes. And really, that's what they've been lacking.
Yes, absolutely.
And fans have been saying this for a long time.
Clear-cut direction.
They were kind of headed that direction with Snyder. Yep. And then that fizzled.
They didn't like his vision. Yeah.
Which really, you should have vetted that before you had the guy make 3 films. Right. But, they're looking for, I don't see, here's my thing. They're looking for the Marvel formula.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
I think they're a little too late. Like,
I agree.
Marvel.
I was going to tell you that I think they should wait 10 years, build it and wait 10 years, because right now Marvel's going to dominate you, and anything you come out with, even if that character came out first, and we've talked about this in other podcasts, audiences will look at it as, well, you're just copying.
Yeah. The
Dr. Fate, that's Doctor Strange. Come on.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot going on right now within the DCU that, yes, they're looking for their Kevin Feige, someone that can come through with a vision and really say, I'm going to oversee this entire thing, this entire DC universe line of films is what they're looking for. And if they're looking for that Marvel formula where they're going to release individual films that introduce characters and then eventually have them team up, I mean, Marvel's 15 years into this game.
Yep, they're in.
And it's the numbers are showing it's starting to get a little played out. Like there's audiences that are starting to kind of step back a little bit. Or
they're feeling like I can't keep up with all this.
Well, there's that.
So they lose out on certain things.
And is everything connected? Is it not connected? I was talking with my brother-in-law who just started watching Loki.
Okay.
Just started watching the series Loki. And he's like, he's liking it. He's about 6 episodes in, or 4 episodes, something like that. He's like, it's really good. But I don't know, like, what's the whole Doctor Strange thing that's coming out in less than a month? Like, is that going to have an effect on this? I said, yes, a very big effect on that. Okay, well, who are the timekeepers? Where does Wanda come in? Do I need to go watch WandaVision? I'm like, you should maybe catch up on WandaVision before. And so he's feeling lost.
Yes.
And he's into it. He wants to watch it, but at the same time, all his kids are under the age of 6, and he's like, I ain't got time to spend. I just
true.
can't. I can't.
That's true. Yeah.
And I'm like, well, then you're gonna have to wait.
Yep.
And I think DC needs to just create something different. They need to do something new.
I agree with you.
And look at Marvel's mistakes, because they haven't been perfect.
Of course not. Yeah.
And they need to learn from those and not just hit the copy button, copy paste.
Right.
I was interested to see some of those news stories that came out, and they're like, look, we really screwed up with Superman. We had a good actor who looked the part, loved the part. Do we, they've got not even a reboot. They have a multiverse Superman film in production with Michael B. Jordan Superman film. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They've got that like in some point of production. I don't think they've started principal photography yet, but it's on its way. And they've got the Flash, and they've got Black Adam, and they've got.
Do they have the Flash? With the way Ezra's being?
One film is principal photography, unless they're going to just pay all that money out that they've already paid, and then say, nah, we're not going to do it. Yeah, they're done filming it. And it's been so hyped. Michael Keaton is returning as Batman. They've got a release date. They're working on special effects. So all of that, it's like they're looking at, how do we take this under new leadership now and make something different? And so I'm going to be paying attention to almost more the business end of things.
Yes, you have
to see what happens.
You have to,
because I'm going to be interested.
Who's going to start pulling the levers? Who's going to start making the big decisions?
And now Ezra Miller did some naughty things in Hawaii, and so there's talk of like getting rid of him.
Yep.
And is that because they're unhappy with his performance in other places, that they're like, well, let's just, I don't know.
I think it is. I think it has a lot to do with Will Smith's slap, because these stars have been getting away with murder, some for real, some I'm exaggerating on, for a long time, because they're who they are.
Yeah.
And people are fighting back at that now.
And I hate to say it, Ezra Miller's not as big of a star as
he's he's not at all.
No. But he did threaten to light a couple on fire.
He tried choking out a girl on stage at a karaoke bar because he didn't like what she was singing, or he didn't like her tone.
Yeah.
And
he's a weird dude. Like, he is super eccentric.
Well, first off, how dare you call him he? Okay, he doesn't.
Are those not his pronouns?
Yeah, he doesn't recognize any of that. He's just a.
Is he a they them?
I think he's a they them.
Or I just learned of, and you know what? I didn't know that. My apologies for getting his.
No, fuck that, dude. You're a he. Cut it out. Cut it out. You're trying to be special. You're not special.
I'm not getting into that debate over. I don't care what people want to be called. I really don't. Yeah. But it's more of his actions of like, dude, fuck off. Like, you're not. Yeah. You're an actor. You read.
No, I don't care.
You say other people's words for a living. So
I don't care. I don't care who you are. You have no reason. Look, if you don't like what she's singing, walk out of the bar. You're Ezra Miller. Walk out of the bar.
Yeah.
People don't need to listen to you because you're Ezra Miller. He's an ass. He's a punk.
Yeah.
Really is.
And this isn't his first run in.
No, it's not
actually.
But so I hope they do get rid of him, because I never liked him as Barry. I never liked him as the Flash.
Not a huge fan.
No. So. But my thing is, take your time with DC. If it takes 5-6 years, maybe 10 years, because by then people's palate will be like, I just feel like anytime DC comes out now, you're like, okay, we'll see what this is. Like, you got to wipe the slate clean a little bit. Maybe you should focus a lot on, I don't know, your other properties like Harry Potter. You and I have talked about this. They could, on Warner Brothers or HBO Max, make a Mad Eye Mooney, show him in his prime.
In the same vein of what we were just talking about, J.K. Rowling has her hate group as well.
Yeah, she does. She said something.
So I don't know. And waiting 10 years to do like more superhero stuff, I think is risky, because I don't know if the genre is going to be that strong in 10 years.
Maybe,
because I think people will, it's eventually
people are going to get sick of it.
It's going to burn out.
Yeah.
It just like this sci-fi genre did.
Well, remember the 80s was all about superheroes on television, and then you didn't see them in the 90s.
Well, but the 80s was also all about science fiction.
Right.
Right. Because Star Wars was huge. I just showed Friday night, our Friday night movie was Ice Pirates.
Oh, sweet.
Remember? Yeah. No.
Robert Urich. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. And I'm like,
space herpes. Yeah.
Yep. Oh yeah. Whole deal. And it's
so
not
stupid.
It's not a great film.
No.
And the family was horrible. Very aware that this was not a great film.
It's quite bad, actually.
But they're like, how did this get made?
Yeah.
And I said it was because
anything was space.
Everybody was looking for the next Star Wars. And so they were just putting out whatever they could with space. And
there's some beautiful 80s sci-fi movies that you could tell. Oh my God, they were trying to do Star Wars.
Well, and that's Krull is also out right now. You can stream Krull on HBO Max, and it's the same story. That came out in like 84, I think.
Yep.
And everybody's trying to capitalize on space mixed with medieval, because Jedi had swords, and they're like, how do we do it? And so they just cranked out all this stuff.
Yeah, they did.
And
it was a glorious time to be alive when you were
a kid. God. I mean, it's one of those, it's like, as a kid, you loved it, but these aren't good films.
No, they're not.
And so I think that's the danger. With DC, like either cranking stuff out or waiting too long. And I think they need to look at what Sony is doing and be like, okay, we want to make superhero films, but we don't want to do that.
Yeah. Here's my thing for why I think Warner Brothers shouldn't make any more for right now. The biggest reason I feel is just, damn, I forgot my thought. I'm sorry, guys. I'm drinking. It's the first time I'm drinking in 40 days. So,
what are you drinking?
Just vodka and water.
Got
to keep it cool for the podcast. Okay. Got to keep it cool for the podcast.
Don't put a lime in there or anything.
Lay down. Sorry, that was my dog.
I would like to see, and Warner Brothers is a powerhouse of a production company.
Yeah, absolutely.
They are huge. They can make whatever they want. I would love it if they would really dig in to some new intellectual properties. Like, look for the next big thing. There's a whole, send your people out, get them looking at novels that haven't been optioned yet.
Absolutely. Yes. I agree with you.
And if you're looking for science fiction, fantasy, superhero stuff, it is out there, both in comic books and in novels, or just people that have a web series, or there's so much stuff out there that I remember reading a book 10, 15 years ago. Mm-hmm. It was called Soon I Will Be Invincible. And I think Les Grossman. I could be wrong.
Okay, that's the guy from The Magicians, right?
Maybe.
Yeah, that's the guy that wrote The Magicians.
I really could be wrong on that on that author. But the book is called Soon I Will Be Invincible. I'll look it up here in a second. The whole story is told from the perspective of a supervillain who's getting out of prison, and he starts it out, opens it up like, imagine being like the smartest man on the planet, and not like in the bell curve, you're on that upper end.
It sounds like Megamind.
Yeah, but it kind of like you're so far to the right on the spectrum, like everybody in the world is below you. That's how smart you are. Yeah. And he's like, that's the mind of a supervillain. That's the mind of a super genius. Like, it's not that we want to do these evil things. We just know how to make the world better. Yeah. And none of you can really understand that once we do rule the world, it's going to be better. And so it's from this guy's perspective of him getting out of prison. And then he's got like this, again, Superman-like character that always takes him down.
Yeah.
And it ends up like, they are fighting over a woman. And it's really good. Really good. And you're like, this would make a fantastic movie.
Yeah. So I remember my point on why I think DC should take a break. Because if, let's say you just start something new and you start it in 3 years.
Yeah.
It's still short enough to where people don't know if it's supposed to be connected do you still have the Wonder Woman playing the Wonder Woman? Do you still have the Flash playing the Flash?
Correct. Yeah.
There's Michael Keaton Batman now. Now there's Robert Pattinson, and then there's going to be Ben Affleck. I think he's appearing in something that they say he's coming in.
Well, in the Flash film, I think.
Okay, but so my point is, you're going to confuse people to where they're going to be like, I don't even know if this is connected. I don't know what's not connected, but you need time to start completely over, unless you're going to have a mega event like Infinity Crisis, which good luck with that.
Yeah,
that's tough. That was tough in the comic books.
Yeah, they don't have enough established characters to really pull that off.
Right. So I mean, that was my only concern, but
yeah,
I mean, that's my only reason.
It's Austin Grossman who wrote the book Soon After the Invincible back in 2007.
Look it up on Audible, guys.
Yeah, look it up on. I believe it's there. One of the things that I think could work for DC is if they went, okay, no, we're just going to tell. It's they call it a multiverse. For a long time in DC, it was called an Elseworld, which was just, this is a different reality.
Right.
Tell the story of Kingdom Come, which is this. It was a 4-issue series by Mark Waid and Alex Ross, where Superman left. Like an event happened that made Superman go, you know what? I retire. I quit. I can't do this anymore. And it was a big event, a big enough event to drive him away. And meanwhile, all these other superheroes or superpowered people start popping up around the world, and all of our other superheroes that we know, Superman, Wonder Woman, Green Lantern, Batman, they all kind of separate, and without their unified leadership, these other superpowered people are just running amok. They fight just to fight. There is no greater good. The line between hero and villain is so blurred. Mm-hmm. And then another event happens and they come back. And it's like you've got the major players, like everybody knows the histories of all these characters now. You don't have to retell origin stories. Right. And you can pick different actors because it's an Elseworld. I mean, and in Kingdom Come, Superman is much older. He's like a man in his late 50s,
right?
Or it looks to be that. Fine, do that story, and just if you want to break down reality after that and have people reboot series or whatever, go ahead.
Yeah,
and you get to introduce some new heroes with that. And I'm just noticing Cousin Clay is on. He said he always liked the Spectre. The Spectre is a big part of that series.
Oh yeah.
Because he's kind of our guide he takes us everything through. Yeah. It's a great message in the book about what it means to be human, about what it means to be a hero. And I don't know. It's just,
well, we're not going to solve
so
it tonight.
Much out there. And we are not the people to solve this anyway.
No, we're not. We put our vote in for Bruce Timm, and who's the other guy? It's supposed to be Bruce Timm and somebody else was supposed to run it.
Paul Dini, Bruce Timm.
Yes,
they did the animated series.
Yes.
To me, bring in Brad Bird, who did the Iron Giants.
No, that's what we said. That was it.
Oh, the Incredibles.
It was Brad Bird and Bruce Timm.
Oh, and Bruce Timm, and have them just run the whole thing.
Yeah,
man, that works. I mean, anybody who's currently working in DC film or TV, you're not being hired. That's what I think they should do. Right.
I agree.
Like Jeff Johns, great. You've done some great stuff. Go back to writing comics.
Exactly. You got in way over your head, and you started thinking, and you knew it, and you took advantage of it.
The current state is something that you helped create.
Yep.
Sorry.
Goodbye.
Yep.
Don't need your vision.
You can work on something else.
Yeah. So moving on to WB, that they also own another property. It's known as the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, and the new movie just came out.
Yep.
I think it's the Secrets of Dumbledore. Yeah. Greg saw it. I didn't. So I
you didn't see it?
No, I couldn't. Didn't have time. Yeah.
Okay.
So I wanted to get Greg's view on it because of Greg.
Wow.
Out of everybody I know, I feel you and your family are genuine Potterheads.
I do, and I'm gonna have to be careful. My oldest daughter, who's probably the biggest Potterhead in the house, had to work, and she did not get to see it. So
welcome to adulthood.
Yep. Yeah, she was upset, and she actually wanted to go tonight. And I was like, no, we're at Easter dinner. We can't just be like,
can't just go,
because it would have been like, hey, we're here for 20 more minutes and we're leaving.
Yeah.
Okay. So as spoiler free as I can make.
Yes. Please do.
It's 2 hours and 22 minutes.
Is it too long for you?
I'm trying to think through it. I didn't feel like it got super long.
Okay.
But I feel like we could have used some more high action sequences, I think.
Oh, damn it. Really?
The sequences we had were good.
Okay.
We saw like this. We saw Dumbledore's fighting style as a young man.
Cool.
Which was yeah.
Good.
We did see in one wizard battle, almost like a mix of hand-to-hand combat with a wand. With a wand.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
So think if you ever saw Equilibrium with Christian Bale, the gun fu, it's almost like wand fu. So there's lots of blocking and redirection of spells, and like it was neat. It wasn't a long part, but I definitely want to see it again because I'm like, oh, that's cool. Because like like nerds have talked about this. Like,
yes, of course.
If someone just would have decked Voldemort, he wouldn't have seen that coming. Like the wizarding world isn't.
Yes, they're very
prepared.
proper. Very proper.
They're not prepared for conventional means, which is at one point, Hermione decks, what's his name? Malfoy. She decks Malfoy. Everybody's so shocked.
Yeah.
Because they're like, oh, but Hermione is part Muggle. And so she's like, oh no, this is how we handle things on Beach Street. We're just going to go down.
Yeah.
And I was like, that there should be more of that.
Right.
So there's a couple, like Jacob Kowalski is kind of our everyman, played by Dan Fogler, who I'm really happy he's in the film. Like
I love him. The baker, right?
Yeah, the baker.
Love that guy.
I wish we would see him do some more cool stuff.
Okay.
Other than just be kind of our observer through the film.
Right.
So that, a lot of great actors. We see a lot with Newt Scamander and his brother. Like they are together through most of the Theseus. Yeah. That's very cool. I could almost see, it's Fantastic Beasts, The Secrets of Dumbledore. We've had 2 Fantastic Beasts movies already. This is the 3rd. I hope we get more. It's definitely leaving off.
So you liked it.
Yes. I think I want to see the continuation of the story. I want to see the conclusion of this battle storyline, which is still culminating to an ultimate battle between Grindelwald and Dumbledore, where Dumbledore, we know, gets the Elder Wand.
Yes.
I thought we were going to get it in this film. We do not.
I didn't think we would.
I thought we would, and then the rest would be like how it plays out. But unless they completely changed the mythology, which I don't know if they will.
They better not.
Yeah, I mean, Garrett Grindelwald is in Azkaban. Like he goes to jail and can be seen.
No, he's not actually
in the
That's
Deathly
not
Hallows.
true. Nope, he didn't. And the reason I know this, Greg, is I just watched it yesterday. The Deathly Hallows. He's in a different prison. It's like some sort of castle.
Okay. That's not Azkaban. Okay.
Yeah, he goes to a completely different castle all by himself.
My point being, he's in prison. He's alive during Deathly Hallows. So, so people are like, "Ooh, battle to the death." Not going to happen.
Yeah.
We see Aberforth, who is Dumbledore's brother. We saw him just a real touch. Much more in the novels, but just in a real touch in the Deathly Hallows films.
Yep.
Learn more about their family history, which is very cool.
Yeah.
And
how did Jude Law do? How did
Jude Law's fantastic as Dumbledore? He really is. If you were asking me, and I know we've had this conversation for a lot of people, like, can an actor any actor come in and play any role kind of thing? If you ask me, can someone play Dumbledore right now? It would be a big search for me to try to figure out who that would be as a Dumbledore in his 40s.
Okay.
But I thought Grindelwald is good. I mean,
Yeah. Okay.
Mads Mikkelsen is a great actor.
Yes. Do you like him better than Johnny?
I think I do,
Okay.
because it really changes the tone a little bit of those scenes where you're watching Johnny Depp and the way he delivered his lines in
Play along, children.
yeah, as he's as his pacing is so different.
This has all been for you, Clarence.
Yeah. As he's doing that,
Credence.
He's like, hello, Credence.
Yeah.
This has all been for you. I mean, he's like
almost like he's trying to be an evil Jack Sparrow.
Yeah, a little bit like that. Being very Johnny Depp.
Yes.
And Mads doesn't approach it like that.
Okay.
Mads approaches it as a guy who's trying to cause an uprising. Like he's trying to be like the Hitler of the wizarding world. I mean, because that's kind of what he's trying to do. He's trying to create a Reich within the wizarding world that is eventually going to try to take over the world, like and control humanity for what he believes.
That was J.K. Rowling's. She was trying to parallel the wizarding world to the beginning of World War II, and
correct.
Yeah.
And that's really the feel. And I don't think if you had Johnny Depp in there with his different colored eyes and his white hair and whatever.
Yeah.
And they've
really
already
works as well. Yeah.
I don't think it works as well. And they already established that Grindelwald can change his shape and form and everything else. So really, it doesn't take much to be like, well, Mads Mikkelsen is actually the true Grindelwald and not what Johnny Depp looked like.
Right.
I just think I think it works a lot better with Mads in there than it does with Johnny Depp. And I'm not trying to disrespect Johnny Depp's the way he does things. Wow, the hand's got a
he really has to go to the bathroom, and he's
is that what's going on?
He's like, come on, dude, you gotta let me go. So I might let you keep telling this. I'm gonna run because I don't need him going on the
that's true
floor. Yeah, keep talking about it.
Maybe we'll dig into people here. So anyway, the way Mads is playing this off is much more of a trying to cause that uprising, and the way he's interacting with the people with the crowd it's just different. And you're never watching Mads and saying, oh, that's that Johnny Depp character. Where any Johnny Depp film you're watching, you don't ever forget that it's Johnny Depp. It's always Johnny Depp playing this guy. This is Geralt Grindelwald. Like, as you're watching it, you're not like, oh, that's Mads playing Grindelwald. It is just, this is who Grindelwald is. Which is it's just a very different feel to the entire thing. And I like that a lot. Wow, that was quick.
Well, I ran, man.
Okay. So I was just saying how it's very like when you watch a Johnny Depp film, it's Johnny Depp playing this guy.
Yes.
And here I didn't feel like it was Mads playing Grindelwald. It's just that's him. So much more into the film I was.
Okay, good. So you walked away pleasantly.
I did. I walked away happy. Good. And I
think I will too then.
Because it's a Fantastic Beasts film, they have to have some kind of magical zoological crux in there, and they do.
Yeah.
For me, for the next couple films, you could drop that. Like,
okay.
Like you don't.
It sounds like they're kind of transitioning to it.
I hope so, because you can always work in the magical beasts, and we know that Newt Scamander knows how to handle magical animals. Like that's okay, if one comes up, he'll know what to do.
Yeah. So what you're saying is you don't have to have the magical beast be the MacGuffin. No. I know it's the MacGuffin of this one. I don't know how, but I know it is.
It comes in definitely in the beginning, definitely the end, and then there's a thing in the middle. And you're going, okay. His knowledge of magical creatures is a major crux in the film, but we don't have to call this a magical. Yeah,
I think it's slowly transitioning to, okay, let's see how Dumbledore does against Grindelwald. Mm-hmm. Is it Grindelwald or Wald?
I think if you use the German pronunciation, it's Grindelwald. The English pronunciation would be Grindelwald.
Okay. And when we mean English, we're talking about American English, not British English.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So go see it.
Definitely. Yeah. Go
Cool.
see the movie.
I will go see it then. Yeah, because I was going to see it regardless. I have been knee deep in Harry Potter stuff for like the last 2 weeks.
Yep.
So I've rewatched every single thing of Harry Potter.
And
out there.
it is worth seeing it on the big screen. I know a lot of people are like, I'll just, wait the 45 days until it comes out. I can watch it on my TV screen or whatever. It's worth a big screen.
Cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. We are almost done. I'm going to throw one thing at you. All right.
Okay.
So what I heard, I've been hearing a lot of, and again, maybe this isn't new, but to me it is because I'm back on social media. A lot of actors are starting to voice their, I don't want to say concerns but they're voicing a little negativity towards method actors.
Oh, that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So is that something that I caught the tail end of?
No. It's been about a week. I mean, I'd say.
Okay. I just thought that was really interesting.
Late last week, early this week, it came out. And what is his name? Was the first guy I saw do it. The guy that's
I saw Samuel L. Jackson say something.
The first one I saw it was the guy who's going to play Adam Warlock.
Oh yes, I forgot his name. He's in the Maze Runner.
Yeah,
he's a good actor.
Yeah, Will Porter.
Yeah,
is his name.
Yes.
Actually, my most memorable thing that he was in was that road trip movie.
Yes, with
he
Sudeikis.
Yeah.
Yes.
We Are the Millers. He was hilarious.
He was fantastic.
Absolutely hilarious.
Yeah, he was really good.
But yeah, so he's Adam Warlock in Guardians of the Galaxy 3, which is filming right now. Really good actor. Like for a long time. Good actor.
I agree.
Yep. His was the first quote I saw, and it started to gain a lot of momentum. And then other people came out and commented on it.
Right.
So
yeah.
He had said, if you're I'm gonna sum up because I don't remember the quote.
Right. Yeah.
But if your method acting creates a hostile work environment, you're an asshole.
Yeah.
And you shouldn't, like, don't do it. Like, it's not.
I agree.
And I heard about some of this, even Jared Leto in Morbius, which is a film that I liked. But Morbius, like, he uses walking, I don't know what they're called, but like a cane, walking poles. That
it's for people that usually have cerebral palsy, right?
Various issues, but his character used those through, like, I don't know, first quarter of the film, and on set,
Leto had to walk around the whole time,
like, to the point where they're like, I have to use the bathroom. And people would either have to help him over because he's using the sticks. Like,
see, that's bullshit.
And I'm like, dude, I don't know. Like, that's a little too much.
It seems to me with some of those people, they're trying to show everybody that has invested in them for this role that this is how committed I am to this.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, we get it. The only time you need to show me you're committed is if you need to have a 6-pack in the scene and you have a 6-pack. Or you need to, or when I say action and you make me believe you're Michael Morbius.
Yeah, that's it.
Yes. That's ridiculous.
So yeah, a lot of people, the people that did comment on it are the people that agreed with Will, like Samuel L. Jackson. He's like, if your character's an asshole and you're just an asshole the entire time, even when the cameras are off, man, that's like not cool.
Yeah. One guy had it perfect. He's like, look, dude, we pretend for a living.
Yeah.
You don't need to carry it when they are stop saying action or something like that.
Yeah.
It's kind of stupid.
And
I just appreciated that because there were a couple in Whitewater that I thought, okay, dude, like, look, like, I get it. You really want people to know that you're really into this part, but guess what? You're not this character.
Yeah.
This isn't you.
You're at UW Whitewater.
Yeah, exactly. You're at UW Whitewater. You're not winning an Oscar. You're not going to win a Tony. Like, unless there's some sort of Wisconsin UW award for best actor, you're not getting it.
But even if there is, like, like, dude, you're in someone's student film.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
that this is not the time.
Yeah. But
But
I couldn't imagine being in that headspace anyway. I couldn't imagine going in like I don't know, like having to pretend like Bale is a very famous method actor.
They talk about Bale, they talk about Daniel Day-Lewis.
Yes.
You know, all these amazing actors.
Well, I heard Daniel Day-Lewis is ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
Yes, like stupid, but he is considered the GOAT of acting. From what I've understood, he's considered the man. I'm not saying that you have to be a method actor to be the man.
No, you don't.
But I just like, I guess he would walk around and like when you're going to Starbucks and you're in the gangs of New York and you're ordering as the butcher of New York in 1920 New York, or I'm sorry, it wasn't 1920, it was like 1850 New York.
And you're yelling at people and like you're like, no.
Yeah.
No, that's again an unsafe work environment. Like if your coworkers, the people you're acting with are like, I don't want to talk to him because he's going to be so angry with me.
I heard, and the reason this came up recently is because I scrolled across and I read all those quotes. I'm like, oh, cool. The actors are actually going after method actors because you're right. They're creating a toxic environment any way you look at it. Because if I have to call you, Greg, if I have to call you Thor, because you think you're the god of thunder, at some point I'm kind of like, dude, I don't even want to be by you.
Yeah.
Like that's ridiculous. You're Greg, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so the show Peaky Blinders, according to who's the main lead? He played the Scarecrow and Batman.
Cillian Murphy.
Yes. Okay. I think he's a great actor.
He's awesome. Very good.
Actually, I think everybody on that show is fantastic. I think the girl that plays Polly is fantastic. God rest her soul. She's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
But according to Cillian Murphy, he's very thankful it's only 6 episodes because he says everybody in the main cast method acts. Yeah. And I thought, oh my God, what an exhausting shoot that would be. Can you imagine that?
No, I can't.
No,
I really can't. I can't imagine.
So imagine like you're a guest star.
Yeah.
You know, for that one scene and you walk in there and they're all still those characters. You're like, oh my God, like can I just have a talk with you? Like, you know,
or if you're friends with somebody, like you're friends, like, or maybe you were roommates in college because and someone gets a role and it's like, hey Garrett, what's up? He's like, I'm not Garrett anymore.
Yeah.
You know, my name is whatever. And you're like, no, it's not.
No, you're Garrett. You're the guy that I caught picking his nose the other day.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, I hear you.
You know, when it was just us two in the room and the bunks were shaking back and forth, I know that it wasn't me. Like that was, I mean, you're Garrett. You're not this dude.
Yeah.
And so I think that's just a real different feel. And so to try to be able to say like that's real acting. No, acting is turning it on, turning it off.
Yeah.
And I haven't read a lot of, acting coaches or books or famous acting teachers, but all of them would be like, no, you go to a place emotionally, character driven, and then you come back from that place.
Right.
You don't live there.
Yeah. I remember hearing a couple of actors talk about how when they did this movie, they got so wrecked because they had to be this performer. And I was kind of like, that's kind of your fault. Like,
I've heard of Topher Grace, who is more famous for that 70s show, but he's actually a really good actor. He played the Grand Wizard of the KKK in Black Klansman, which is a great film.
Okay.
And he said after he played that role, he did take about a month off to just distance himself from the character. And he goes into like an editing booth and just like re-edits films together and actually does some really cool
yeah.
But I thought that was interesting. Be like, you know what? I suppose if you are you've got to live in the headspace of a bad person, such as a super uber racist.
Yeah.
And you're going to be like, I want to get away. I need to like clear my head for a little bit from that. So I kind of understand that, but I don't think he was racist when they yelled cut.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Yes. Yeah. So I mean, look, I understand that. Like, and I heard Leonardo DiCaprio, who I hear isn't a method actor. He's just a good actor.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
what I've heard.
I heard I've never heard anybody say he's a method actor. But anyway, I heard he had a hard time saying all of those words in all those derogatory terms in
and the
damn it.
Django. The Django.
Yeah, Django
Unchained. Yeah.
Yes.
He didn't want to say the N-word.
Yes, because he was doing it to Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah.
And he's like, dude, and he's like, the Quentin, like, dude, I can't. And then I guess Samuel L. Jackson said, dude, we're acting. I know you're not a racist. I know you don't mean it. Just fucking say it.
Yeah.
As best as Samuel L. Jackson can say it. Yeah. And force him to basically be
comfortable with this because your character is.
Yeah.
You don't have to live there.
Yeah, exactly. And he did it. And I thought he did a hell of a job because I hated him in that movie.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, he was terrible.
Yes. So I thought to myself, actually, side note, you watched that movie, right? You saw it, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
The worst part I thought that entire movie was, and maybe I'm wrong because I haven't watched it in a long time, but when they were forcing the two guys to fight each other to the death.
Yeah, that was bad.
Like, how often do you think that had to happen back then? It was, and I'm just thinking how horrible, because those are probably two brothers or those are two best friends or
you guys that knew each other.
Yeah, it's like you and me getting pulled into because a white plantation owner wants us to beat the shit out of each other for entertainment. I just thought that got me somewhere. But anyway, going back to Leo, he said he had a hard time with it, but again, it's like you said, when they said cut, he wasn't a racist after that.
Hug it out and you're done. I again, my super limited micro budget acting projects,
or like Or,
there's one where it was I had to grab a woman by the arm and like force her to leave a scene.
Okay.
And like the first time I did it, I remember, we run it through. This was in the rehearsal. We run it through and they're kind of like, I see a lot of like quiet silence whispering, and I'm like, oh, I didn't do a good job. Yeah. And the director came up, and one of the actors, who's a buddy of mine, they're like, hey, Greg, have you ever forcibly grabbed a woman by her arm before? I'm like, no. Like, why would I do? No, I've never done that before. I'm acting. Like, I don't know how to do it.
They're like, yeah, we can tell.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, it's not natural. We can tell it's not natural.
Please go over there.
Yeah, and it was kind of. I like sped it real quick, and then I gently grabbed her and let her off the scene. And they're like, and so she came over. She's like, no, you like feel free. You have my permission to
just grab me and shove me over there.
Yeah, to grab me and move me. And I'm like, are you sure?
I can't do that.
And so, and it was a little bit of a, and I did to the point where at one point she was started like, because I had to like throw her on the floor. Because I was a jailer and she was going to trial, and I had to and so she was like diving for the floor to the point the director came up. He's like, could you not throw her so hard? I'm like, dude, she's diving. I'm not throwing at all.
Yeah.
But it looked great on camera.
Yeah.
But yeah, it took a couple takes for me to get into a mindset of, grabbing her and
right. Which is fine if it takes a couple of takes.
Yeah,
that's totally
and
fine.
That's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you
weren't an abuser the rest of that shoot.
No, like every take, I'm like, I'm so sorry. Are you okay?
Yeah.
So
yeah, when I had to do a short play in Whitewater when I was playing the general, I don't know if you went to that one or not.
I did. Yeah, that was a good one.
Okay, but I can't remember. I think they told me not to, but when that character was supposed to smoke.
Oh yeah.
And I couldn't do it. He goes, I remember him saying, Johnny, that was great. You're like, your lines are good. Have you ever smoked ever in your life? I'm like, nope. He goes, yeah, we can totally tell. So, and they wanted to give me lessons, and I'm sitting here going, so you hold it here. What if it burns here? And they're like, dude, they're just like, it just relax. And I was like, and they're like, okay, you know what? He doesn't need to smoke.
Yep. I had a similar experience on your student film. Do you remember that? Me and another dude were playing cameraman, and it because you were making that slasher film. And it was the cameraman just needed to leave the studio. That was the point. Just step away from your cameras, put your headphones somewhere else, and leave. That was it. And So me and the other dude, it's our cue. And he's like, okay. And Hatford, if you're listening, you directed this whole thing. He's like, okay, so you're going to grab this pack of cigarettes out of your pack. You're going to, pack them in. You're going to flip one so it comes up. You're going to offer it to that guy, and then you're going to leave. I was like, sure I am. And he's like, have you ever smoked a cigarette before? I'm like, yes. Because I didn't want to be like, once or twice. And so we do. And then again, whispering like, okay, that didn't look natural at all. I'm like, I bet not, because I don't really know.
I don't do that.
We spent at least 5 takes of Hatford be like, no, you got to grab him. You got to here, and you're going to be, and you move the camera out of the way. And I'm like, how about I just don't smoke? can I just be like, let's get the,
there's no point of me just leaving.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, that's what we're trying to get to is leave the scene. So
I don't have to leave in style, do I?
Yeah. I'm like, can't we just like leave? And I can say, do you want to grab some coffee to the other guy? Yeah, okay, let's do it.
Yeah.
After like numerous takes of,
yes.
Yeah, these guys don't know how to smoke.
Yeah. Good times. Good times.
It was.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. We'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
I think we're good. Greg, take us out, sir.
All right. As you're going through the week and you're talking to people, hey, you know what? Don't be a douche.
Yes. For the Greg, this is Johnny saying podcast out. Happy Easter, everybody. Take care. Have a great week. Bye-bye.